Welcome back to Monaco and the PokerStars Championship presented by Monte Carlo Casino. It is final table day. 5 players remain, only 1 elimination so far today, but a change in the chip lead at the final table during the last level. Rafael Sorrentino is the man in front at the moment with 7.68 million. Michael Kolkovic, the start of day chip leader, currently sits in second. 2 players in the danger zone right now.
Danger zone!
Bondar and Klatt sitting on 16 big blinds each. Everyone guaranteed 147k, more than 500,000 euros up top. I'm James Hartigan alongside Matt Broughton.
Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of Poker in the Years and Eyes. One more chunk to go yet.
And we are joined in the booth right now by the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Negreanu from Team PokerStars Pro.
Correct, all those things that he just said. Man correct, myth. Well, yeah, legend for sure, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Now, Daniel, you've witnessed a fair few of these final tables, and you know that normally we're playing at around a 50 big blind average. Average stack right now, 36 bigs. It's getting a little bit shallow. Would expect at least 1 elimination this level.
Oh, yeah, it could be even more, depending on, the playing style. It looks like you got a couple guys in that range where they're just shoving with 15 bigs. I don't know many of these. Actually, I don't know these players personally, but I would imagine that...
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's take the opportunity for me to tell you a little bit about them. And at the same time, anyone who's just tuned in, who missed the introduction at the start of the show, you know Bondar?
So what he did against me was insane. he folded jacks in a spot. Like, I guess he played the bubble really tight. It was raised. He called with jacks. I re-raised from the big blind, and he folded jacks. Very short stack because he was trying to make the money. And he's still here. Good for Bondar.
Yeah, Bondar playing 17 big blinds right now.
Yeah.
So this guy actually won a live satellite play in the main event, Daniel. He's had a number of decent scores. Last year he came in the top 20 in the 25k high roller here in Monte Carlo.
Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, all I know of him was just like, obviously bubble play when we were nearing the money in the main event, this event, which obviously I made the money in, and everyone was kind of like floored that he folded the jacks. I had ace-5 offsuit, but I don't necessarily blame him for the fold. If making the money matters, I think it might have actually been, I don't know, correct possibly.
So the guy who has the chip lead at the moment, Rafael Sorrentino, he is an Italian pro. He came close to making a final table on the tour back in 2014. Started playing in Italy, then moved to Malta, where he lived with Mustafa Kanit. Says that Mustafa really helped him develop his game, and now lives in Mexico, where he grinds on a daily basis. I'd say he's probably the most experienced, most accomplished player at the table. This guy, Michael Kolkovic, total amateur, recreational player who entered the event on a whim. The best story about this guy, Daniel, is 10 years ago, he and his wife, Cynthia, who's in the audience, got married in this very room, in the Salle des Etoiles.
This is a beautiful room for a wedding. Beautiful room for anything, really. Yeah. No, I definitely played with him also earlier in the tournament. 2 of these guys.
Wakey.
King, queen for Kolkovic, kings for Bondar. So Kolkovic is open to 360,000. Bondar playing 17 big blinds seems fairly obvious.
Yeah, Bondar's making that face like, oh boy. Oh, I just have kings here.
In fairness, he makes that face pretty much from morning till night.
Okay.
That's his delighted face.
That's delighted?
That is him really like euphoric, almost losing his mind.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine a shove here with his stack size. The question is, does Kolkovic make what would be a little bit of a loosey-goosey call with King-Queen? Actually, against this specific player, I think King-Queen should be a pretty easy fold. He knows he has kings, right? Oh.
There's the shove.
Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine Kolkovic is going to call here.
Tell me how much it is, please.
I don't know. We have seen stranger things. And I mean, surely of the range of stuff that Bondar's going to shove with, is King-Queen not ever good? Ever?
I actually made a dumb call just like this one in the main event against Elke.
Well, there you are. So you've made it legit.
I was suited. Okay, so I had 2 parts to a royal flush.
2 million.
40%, as Phil Locke would say. I would say, though, with his chip position in this situation, it's just not worth the risk. Because, I mean, what are you hoping? He has ace-jack, ace-10, so that way, you're not in really bad shape. If he has ace-king, ace-queen, aces or kings, your king-queen does not play well against those hands. Giving it some thought. Everyone's hiding their eyes on this one. Is this like a groupthink thing? They all decided like, hey, everyone, let's just hide our eyes, because why not?
It might just be bright up there.
Call.
I don't think that. I was up
Wow. Kolkovic calls the all-in. Bondar officially at risk, but is ahead by a significant margin.
Yeah,
Kings against King-Queen.
I just can't pretend I'm super surprised by that, because we've seen Kolkovic do far more with far less than King-Queen off.
If there's any man I wouldn't call at this table with King-Queen, it definitely would be Bondar. Based on what I, saw on the bubble.
Bondar, a 9-1 favorite. Well, there's a queen
there.
on the flop, plus 2 hearts.
It's about as good as you're gonna flop.
Absolutely, it's never easy. So Kolkovic's immediate outs, the 2 remaining queens in the deck. Running hearts would also work for him. That takes away the heart draw, so just a queen would send Bondar to the rail in 5th place. Any other card, he gets the full double up, and we play on 5-handed.
Queen of clubs he's calling for.
The river is a
Ooh.
jack. Close.
Just
Right suit.
2,145,000.
So Bondar doubles up to 4.5 million, out of the danger zone now, just shy of 40 big blinds. Klatt, the player at immediate danger with just 14 bigs. Kolkovic drops down to, well, a similar size stack to Bondar.
Now I know Matt Broughton's password. It is 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So this is hand 56 of the final table. Action has been forwarded to Klatt, who's got pocket 5s in the cutoff.
I'm guessing not a huge amount of consideration needs to go into this one.
This is automatic. It's an all-in. He's just doing the Hollywood thing for the
Yeah.
sake of doing it. Like, I don't see the value of this. I really don't. Like, I don't see the value of pausing. It's like obvious you're going all in, and you're doing that with a specific range. Everyone knows it. Adding the extra pause doesn't exactly throw people off and go, he must have a marginal hand because he thought for 5 seconds.
Kolkovic in the small blind has 4 deuce. Paniak is in the big blind. Ooh, pocket
That's a call.
8s.
There's no reason to think about this one. I mean, I don't know if he's looked, but yeah.
Showdown.
So here we go, Klatt at risk and dominated.
Fünfer.
Looking for a 5, or we will be down to 4 players.
I don't think a 5's coming. You sometimes just feel it. I don't think a 5's coming. I'll bet on it. Want to bet on it, Matt?
No, not at all.
I'll bet you a 5 doesn't come.
Okay, I bet you a gentleman's handshake. Oh, look, Joe's reaching for his wallet.
Yeah.
He's degenerate.
Okay. But he bet.
I'm pretty sure that's the change from the money I gave Joe the other day. That feels kind of cheap.
Oh, 5 on
You
the
should have bet
flop.
big.
Right, okay, that's €2.
Should have bet big.
50, 60. I think that's €2.65 you owe, Joe. Sorry.
No,
about
not
that.
Joe. I was going to bet you. I
Right.
never
I
accepted.
didn't extend it to you. That is
I'm going to
true.
welch.
Wow.
I'm not paying.
Classic.
I'm not paying. You can put it on Twitter. I don't care.
So Klatt survives and doubles up unless an 8 hits the river. The river card is an ace, so Klatt does indeed double up through Paniak.
Running good. Must be nice, as they say.
The old switcheroo. So Paniak, 19 big blinds. Hour on the clock.
640. 1640.
So still 5-handed, the shortest stack now being Max and Paniak, hovering around the 20 big blind mark. Sorrentino still holds the chip lead with 60 big blinds, and still more than an hour to play at this blind level. Update from the bounty bonus, Joe Stapleton has been eliminated. The villain correctly called pre-flop with 7 deuce against king queen suited and river to 7.
How much did he win?
$150.
Ah, ding, 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 ding,
How
ding.
much is it, the call? How much? 32. 32.
Bondar with king 9 of hearts on the button. He's had his fair share of decent hands this orbit. By the way, the lady you can see over his shoulder in the audience, Daniel, that is Mrs. Kolkovich. That's Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
The raise is to 260,000. Klatt has folded the small blind. Sorrentino has ace deuce in the big blind.
Okay, correct. He could this is a hand you could 3-bet against a player like Bondar because he folds too much maybe, but I don't mind the call. Either way, the only mistake here would have been fold.
The flop is king, jack 6. Top pair for Bondar.
I'm guessing this is a check fold situation for Sorrentino. Bondar doesn't also have to bet. It's a rainbow board, so, he could decide to play a little deceptive and check back the kings here and sort of incorporate some good hands into his checking back range. Because if you always... No, he did check back. Very nice. This could potentially get Sorrentino to lose a bet if he bets here and tries to represent, because he may put Bondar on something like a7, right? And if he does, he might just get him to fold. So it's going to work. Sorrentino's going to bet here, where he likely would have just checked and folded on the flop. So well played by Bondar to check back that flop. Unless now he just folds.
No.
You're like, what? So it's just a call situation. There's no real reason to raise. I mean, as I say that, he does raise.
Yeah.
I guess you could make a case for it, with the 2 spades there, charging the draw. But what do you do now if your opponent re-raises you here? I don't know. It feels like you open the door. You open the door for a hand like 7-8 of spades or 5-7 of spades to just go, you know what? I'm going to re-raise you and move you off this team.
Yeah, and I guess especially when you've got position, because if you just call there's another street, and Sorrentino's like, well,
you may get another bluff.
Yeah.
You might get another bluff out of him. You only had 3 outs.
I've had a request in the chat box in the bounty bonus from a player called Olympia. Give me a shout out on the Twitch, Hartigan Bra.
Hartigan Bra, dude. Give me a shout out on the Twitch, bra. And you've done it.
Yeah.
Consider yourself shouted out. Questions for Daniel Negreanu. Scott Adamson wants to know who's winning the Stanley Cup this year.
Great question. I'm going to go with, depending on the health of Sidney Crosby, who's just been hurt, I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Penguins. I just, they know how to do it.
Is that a real thing? The Pittsburgh Penguins?
Yeah. I mean, they won it last year, and I got a buddy on that team named Phil Kessel who plays a lot of poker.
Sorry, do you know what? To someone who doesn't know what we're talking about, that's just a fantastically comedy name. Like to be, what are you with? Something Tigers? Or, no, we're the Penguins. You go,
Just
really?
the Penguins.
You want Penguins?
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
It just sounds like something cute. Hi, we're the Penguins.
You're the fluffy Penguins.
These big guys. Hi, we're the Penguins.
Tigers are playing tonight.
Yo. Bruh. Penguins are good, man. You could just go with the Pens.
The Pens, right, okay.
Pens.
260.
Wow.
Flat raising with ace-5 and diamonds. Jamie Robinson says, Daniel, this Kevin Hart hand, more viral than the Ronnie Barder Miss Finland hand?
Yes, it's different. It's all for different reasons. Obviously, it's not, in terms of the skill level and the high-end craziness from that hand is different than this one. This one is just going to be one of those like, oh my goodness, did that just happen? Well, I guess similar to Miss Finland in that sense, but it will be, oh, speaking of the Miss Finland hand, I just broke that down from my YouTube channel, and I'm going to release that next week. Because it was a crazy hand on Shark Cage.
How you doing, James? Still top of the table. You take these things very seriously, don't you?
18th of 414.
You do realize that the idea is that we let the audience like have a nice time and make some money from us, don't you?
Eventually, just you got to get there to be.
I mean, I'm going to be so disappointed if you win one of these things. That's totally not the spirit.
Well, where would the money go? You just pocket it?
No,
$150
we'll the next time we run this promotion, we'll definitely roll over the bounty.
If you win.
Yes, but that's not going to happen because I guarantee you what will occur in about 15 or 20 minutes. I'll be like, okay, I'm kind of bored of this now. having just sat through the last 30 minutes, I've now come to the conclusion that it's not inconceivable that we could actually get through this entire level without losing a single player.
Oh, God, yeah. Maybe even the one after that as well.
But in which case, it's just going to become shovel fold poker. The skill element's going to be completely stripped away once the blinds start eating these guys up.
Frankly, that's how they're kind of playing anyway. Because, like, as I said, you're not seeing the big blind defend nearly enough. So it has been already kind of playing that way.
Well, anyway, we've got a queen-jack against an ace-king here. We might see some action. Sorrentino has made it 240,000 from the button. Kolkovic sitting in the small blind with ace-king of hearts.
So this is pretty standard, a re-raise spot. And a re-raise with the intention of calling if your opponent shoves it. You're never gonna 3-bet fold here, especially 5-handed in this situation. So he's 240 now. He's gonna wanna make it like 600, 620, something in that neighborhood. He's up against the one player who could potentially really like call to see a flop, so you want to give it a little bit more out of position.
Blacks are 100K, greens are 25K, blues are 5K. So the 3-bet from
640.
Kolkovic.
And he raised, I said 620, he made it 640, I believe.
640,
yeah,
yes.
I was close. I like the raise size. Obviously, since I said 620. Got action now.
Yeah, Sorrentino is called in position. Flop is 10-4 deuce with 2 spades.
So this is a tough decision now for Kolkovic, because he doesn't have anything. He's got the backdoor flush draw, but it's very unlikely that Sorrentino has a pair here, unless he has some sort of 10 combo. He does have queen jack, so he could have jack 10, jack queen, queen 10, or something like that. Oh. Now this is it, because you got 2 overs and a flush draw versus top pair. He's checked the turn. I mean, this is not a terrible spot to check raise all in if you're Kolkovic. Definitely gonna bet from Sorrentino. I'm surprised just to see the just call here. This is a really big hand. I guess. Yeah, I think you might want to check raise here.
500,000 apiece, inconsequential deuce of clubs on the river. Kolkovic quickly checks.
Now it's value town for Sorrentino. How much can he get? 2.5 million out there, maybe something like 1.1. Gets a call from ace king. Oh, his bet's small, even smaller than that. 600. Very small bet to get maximum value here. I like it. It should work a lot of the time, you know. Ace king beats king queen, beats ace queen, although probably ace queen doesn't bet. 8-9 suited it beats.
Call.
Makes the call. Gets the bad news.
And Sorrentino will extend his chip lead.
So small mistake here, right? I think from the ace king to not bet the flop. You know, you 3-bet the small. That's a good board for your hand for the most part. Anytime you don't flop an ace or king, that's not good, or a flush draw, but a deuce, a 4 is unlikely to hit your opponent. He's unlikely to have a pocket pair. So unless it's specifically a 10, you know, you're ahead. So the question is, if you checked and your opponent bet, were you going to call with ace king high? Probably. I think you have to. So in those cases, I think it's worth just putting out a bet on the flop, because you would with aces or kings, so might as well do it with the ace king as well.
So Kolkovic was our start of day chip leader, and he got off to a tear. During the first 45 minutes, his stack was up over 6 million. And now he is the second shortest stack at the table, down to 20 big blinds. Sorrentino playing more than 70 bigs. Questions still coming in for Daniel Negreanu, hashtag PokerStarsTV. Stephen Flynn would like me to ask you, Daniel, if you're going to play any poker in Ireland this year. I'd love to see Daniel play live. Favorite player ever?
I had fun in Ireland. I had a good night there. I mean, you know, good week there. And it's fun, but I don't have any plans on getting out there right now. I'm just gearing up for the World Series of Poker. And then, of course, after that, you've got PokerStars Championship Barcelona, which is always must-attend travel destination, not just for the tournaments, but also it's just a great location right on the beach. It's really great.
Also, one of our diehard fans, Smitty, is saying, please just say hi to Daniel for me, and that I love the Kid Poker movie. I'm guessing you still get a lot of feedback about that as people gradually catch up with it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if you haven't seen it on Netflix, it's called Kid Poker. Only available in English-speaking countries, unfortunately. They haven't done the subtitle thing yet. But it's been well received. I mean,
it's because you talk too fast. It's going to take them months and months and months.
You think that's what it is?
Per hour, there must be just so much text.
So I need to slow
That's it.
down.
See, that would have been out within weeks.
Are you aware of the subtitling error on Netflix? Because obviously there's English subtitles available.
Right.
And there's a section where I talk about Daniel winning the Poker Ambassador Award at the first ever American Poker Awards.
Right.
And it's been missubtitled as the American Poker Wars.
Oh, wow. He was a hero.
There are a lot of wars in American poker right now, for sure. There's been more and more. There's been some crazy stuff going on.
He killed 8 people from that field. I mean, that's just some of the best poker I've seen.
So this is Sorrentino against Kolkovic, round 2. Sorrentino has bet 260,000 on the flop.
Now, if I'm Kolkovic, I think I'm just gonna call here. You know, you're never gonna fold. You're really there's almost no card on the turn you're gonna fold except an ace. That's gonna be a good spot. I think Sorrentino has to slow down here. Been called on a Jack 4-3 flop with 2 hearts. Button called. It's just very likely that he's got a Jack, and it could be Jack 10. So good check from Sorrentino. And expect Kolkovic to bet here and take it down.
Clara tweets, I can't help myself, but Sorrentino reminds me of an Italian version of David Walliams.
And who is David Walliams?
Oh, David Walliams, okay. He's a British comedian. And even if I showed you a picture, you still probably wouldn't understand the tweet. It's a pretty thin stretch.
You know how I love a bad lookalike.
I'm going to need to see a side-by-side Photoshop there, so come back to us on that one.
How often, Matt, do you get Brad Pitt? Like people say, like, you know, doppelganger Brad Pitt. Do you
For
get
me?
That a lot? Yeah.
Well, that would be the first one if you were
I didn't
suggesting
say
that
that
right
I'm
now.
suggesting. I'm just wondering how many people.
You appear to be suggesting it.
Not at
Daniel.
all.
I
I'm
mean,
just curious.
by your very tone.
Never.
Never. No, never. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
I remember. This is funny. I'm gonna. Jeff Madsen. There was that week where you post your doppelganger picture. And Jeff Madsen, who's a poker player you may know,
yes,
put a picture up of Brad Pitt. And I was like, really? Okay. He was serious. It's like, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm like a little hotter than Brad Pitt, but, you know, it's close.
In fact, as a young man, I was in a band and we had a song called He Doesn't Have to Try That Hard. And one of the lines went, I like to think of myself as something as a lad. I'm not exactly Brad Pitt, but I'm not that bad. So, I mean, I was queuing myself up even in my 20s expecting it, but, you know, I'm still waiting. Anyone? Please.
Sorrentino opening under the gun with Jack 9, Ace King for Michael Kolkovic.
Well, 26 bigs. You know, the question really is, do I ship it or do I put in a raise with the intention of calling? And again, it doesn't really matter all that much, frankly, when you're that short. I mean, you could theoretically, you know, try to just put in a standard 3-bet to hope to get a little bit extra value. But then the question begs is like, you kind of limit the number of hands that you have to do that because you're not really 3-bet folding here very often. I wouldn't imagine. So, like if you had 5s and you were going to re-raise, you probably wouldn't 3-bet. You'd ship it.
Raises to 685.
There's the re-raise, a 3-bet to 685,000.
You know, I'm thinking if I would have made it to this point, I probably would have won. I think I would have. I think I would have won.
Yeah.
I just screwed up by not getting to this point. But if I was here,
you
think I would have won.
You would have had us out of here a good 3 hours ago.
I don't know about that. It would have took some time. I have a feeling I would have won.
It must be quite frustrating. You think, you know, if in just watching this for like 20 minutes, you've got a plan for every single play. You know exactly what range, you know exactly how to play against them.
That was interesting. I thought that was really what I just saw there was from Kolkovic. He showed 1 ace with Ace King. He showed the 1 ace.
One was ace?
So, interestingly enough, that actually makes it look more like a bluff. because he shows like the one ace, not the king. And you'd think like, okay, if he's trying to show him I had it, he would show both.
Yeah, you think whatever you want.
So he probably thinks it's like ace-7 offsuit now.
It's a good one.
The mind games are beginning.
Kolkovic now playing around 30 big blinds. Klat sitting on a 25 big blind stack. Paniak, the low man at the table, fewer than 20 big blinds. Sorrentino still chip leader. 7.6 million, just over 60 big blinds.
So this is on Twitch as well?
Yep, we're on PokerStars.tv. We are on the PokerStars YouTube channel. We're on Facebook. And
You're
we're
all
on
over the place, man.
Twitch.tv/PokerStars.
James,
yeah.
you're going to be famous.
One day.
This is crazy. Everyone's going to know who you are. It's going to be awkward, right? Signing autographs on your way to the grocery store.
I genuinely love the fact that no one knows who I am.
And then you got this guy. What was your name again?
It's Brad.
Bradley Pitt, or whatever he wants to call himself.
Although there was an occasion once where there was a guy selling magazines outside Waitrose in Putney who watched the TV shows and did recognize me.
Really?
But it's very rare. Outside of a casino, outside of any kind of poker event, no one knows who I am, and I love it that way.
Yeah, once in my life, outside of a really obvious casino poker, I've been recognized. My band played at a wedding, and one of the guys was like, I know you from the television. I was like, right, well, just keep it to yourself, right? Shh. Yeah. Legit hands going to war. Raise from Bondar on the button. Ace-9 off. Sorrentino with the pocket eights. Just calls.
Who looks like Bob Saget? I'm watching your Twitch chat, and someone said you look like Bob Saget. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. More like Bob than Brad Pitt.
See, some people are saying, who's James Hardigan? That's the level of respect we get. We just put in 5 days graft to entertain you people. Unbelievable.
6 bets, 285.
It's a pretty good flop for Sorrentino, and he's up against the right player to bet here comfortably because, you know, from what we've seen, Bondar is not the type to make a lot of big moves. So he should be betting his eights there, betting pretty much everything in hopes of pushing around Bondar. That's what I'd be doing. I like Mustafa Khanit a lot. He is what poker needs more of. Funny, engaging, super cool guy. Happy to see him giving back to a buddy and helping him get here to the final table. It's awesome.
Also has a very nice moustache.
Anyone with a mustache is usually going to be like funny in some way because they're obviously poking fun at themselves in a little bit. Like I have a mustache, haha, laugh at me. Like Philip Gruesome. I love people with mustache.
Best mustache right now in poker.
I mean, unless it's like a '70s porn stash. I mean, I like anyone with a mustache is okay in my book.
Daniel, you're saying my mustache is like a pawn stash?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
It's eerie. Shivers.
So this is a raise from Bondar with ace-8 of hearts, called by Klat on the button with king-10 off. Kolkovic in the big blind with jack-9 of hearts.
I mean, if these guys pull together, they could have a really great hand here. Sadly, not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that'll be in the future.
That's why I'm here, expert commentator, to make sure that you don't send people down the wrong path. You cannot do that. There's no combining cards.
Just nudge the guy next to you.
Yeah.
Do you want, if you
That's
take
like
that
some
one,
sort of cribbage or bridge. I don't know.
I'll take that one that you've got.
Yeah. Not allowed. Frowned upon, actually.
Really? Quite right.
Not okay.
Good. I'll
like
make
check raising. You just don't do stuff.
So
like
many
that.
rules. So many rules. I just can't keep track of them all.
Ooh, Kolkovic looking to make a play here. It looks like. This is what I would call a Fedor Holtz move. If he does with re-raise, it seems like every time Fedor gets one of these hands, he's always re-raising.
I've got a bad look-alike for Kolkovic, by the way. Nominated by Alan. Kolkovic looks like a French Rob Lowe.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, for sure.
Daniel approves. King 9-8 on the flop. Little bit for everyone.
This could be fun. It could also just go check, 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 but it shouldn't.
He could, you know, because Klat in position, although there's two players in the pot, he could slow play this king and just look to get some action, but I think a bet here is probably better because it is a pretty connected board. You might get some calls from, you know, weaker hands. As
Can you
well,
see
you
how
know,
much
you're not doing that great in
my
chips,
plate.
so winning what's there is not a bad result.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Just
3-5.
just put the black in front.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
3-5.
Checked it. Wow. Checked it. Oh,
Oops.
man. Well, I don't know if it was an oops. I don't know if Bondar was going to fold, but he's certainly not going to lose a bunch of chips now. I think Bondar is definitely going to bet. Oh, he checked?
Yep.
Wow, that's
Welcome
shocking.
to our table.
That's a mistake. Bondar's check there is a mistake because he's just not going to get a bet from Clat very often. If Clat flatted the button, you know, hands with a containing ace are not that, you know, relevant in his range. Of course, now he's got a full house. I can't imagine he's going to try to check it one more time. He may get a call now, though, from Kokowicz, who's got the king. I'm from Clat.
Flat, yeah.
But I don't like the check from Bondar on the turn. I just don't think that he's going to get a bet from behind him often enough. 250. That's a really itty bitty bet. Now that's a little itty bitty bet that Clat has to call. But not like it because it's just never a bluff. And if he's got a king, he very well could have a king queen or a king jack.
Boat.
It's kind of it's tough when someone bets so small and you're like, oh my god, I'm so beat for sure. But you're like, okay, I pretty much have to pay. And that's the head shake. That's what that head shake just meant right there.
I can't work out. I can see which one is worse for your chips, but mentally, is folding there when it's so cheap or calling and finding your big? Which one does the more or less mental damage?
If you fold and then like find out a little bit later that like he bluffed you, it's demoralizing. It's over. Just quit. You gotta sleep at night.
A couple of questions for Daniel, both of them coming from Mike on Twitter. First of all, have you heard of the Jamie Staples bet, Daniel, and do you think he'll make it?
I have heard of the bet, and it takes more than him. He's going to need help from his brother, who's going to have to gain a little bit of weight, and that could be tough unless he's going to eat a lot of cake. But for Jamie, I'm glad to see it. Whether he achieves the goal or not, I'm happy to see somebody that takes on a bet like this. And I'm really, you know, thankful for a guy like Bill Perkins in the poker community who has a lot of money and uses it to create experiences for people. But often those experiences are life-changing moments for other people, like absolutely changing their lives. So good for Bill Perkins for offering the bet, and good luck. You know, I hope he gets down there because it's certainly for his longevity and his long-term life and his happiness and his health. It's a win-win for everybody.
Mike's second question, Daniel, how is it going with your 2017 poker goals?
2017 poker goals. You know, the funny thing is I don't usually look until the end of the year, but I would imagine I'm behind. But the World Series for me is really where, you know, it's where I make or break my year because I put in my most volume during the summer.
Jocelyn actually was on Twitter a while back saying, you know, have you got any goals, challenges, bets, anything for the WSOP, anything you're kind of ready to take?
Yeah, I'm somebody that's very self-motivated, so I don't really need to make bets or things like that. So really what I look forward to is winning the Player of the Year. I've done that twice, and I'd like to be the first person to get to 3. I'm the only person with 2.
Right.
So I'd like to get to 3 before somebody else gets 2. That's kind of a personal goal of mine. They're fun, Player of the Year awards.
So you're going to be busy. Very busy.
As busy as always. Playing the 10Ks, the mixed games typically. I'm a big fan of mixed games. In fact, I'm probably going to Twitch stream tonight some 400, 800 mix on PokerStars.com, the world's largest poker site, where you can play tournaments now, now, and now. Ching!
PokerStars.
I love doing that. I did a commercial. I didn't add like that.
James
it was so much fun. You can play tournaments now, now, and now. Ching!
Ace-3 against Ace-10. Clap with the pre-flop betting lead. Sorrentino with the advantage of position.
Where's the Ace-3-10 flop I ordered? Waiter?
This will be the last hand where we have the expertise of Daniel Negreanu. He will be departing at the conclusion of hand 66. Execute hand 66.
Nerd.
Yes, work to do for me.
I know that reference would have worked better yesterday, but...
Whatevs.
Six bet 280.
Very nice. Position is power. Sorrentino looking to use it to pick up this pot on the flop with slightly the worst hand, although, you know, he might not get away with it. Klatt does have some backdoor potential with the 10. He may believe there's a good chance he has the best hand with ace high. He's going to let it go, so a good play from Sorrentino to win it.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Always a privilege for us and, of course, for the audience as well. If we don't see you before, Barcelona for PokerStars Championship in August.
That'll be when I see you. Yeah, it won't happen before then.
What if I suddenly decide to book a trip to Vegas this summer?
You're not going to.
He can read people. It's true.
It's
All right,
spooky.
guys.
That was scary to see.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Daniel Negreanu joining us here on PokerStars TV as we continue to play down to a champion here in Monte Carlo. The main event down to the last 5 players from a starting field of 727. We have been 5-handed for some time now. And despite predictions, including from Daniel, that we would reach at least 4, if not 3 players by the conclusion of level 30, there's 35 minutes to go, Matt, and I don't see anyone going anywhere soon.
No, I mean, sometimes we just get these lineups where, you know, unless the cards just create some kind of proper 3 people flop 2 pair at the same time, they're just not aggro enough that anyone's going to do the damage without some
60.
proper help from the cards. And for the record, I'm going to go home and tell everyone that Daniel Negreanu said I was one funny and looked a lot like Brad Pitt. That's the beauty of not having any friends or family that watch this. I can say whatever I want.
I don't actually think either of those things is a million miles away from the truth.
Well, God bless you, James Hartigan. How are the eyes, by the way? I know the cataracts are pretty thick. I know, man. Take care of that for you.
Klatt has opened 260,000. Bondar with the decision in the big blind. James Everson does point out something interesting about that hand where Kolkovic had ace-king and showed the ace. He says, surely Kolkovic showing any cards, be it aces or not, is a bad move. He should be using his lack of experience to his advantage. 1 of 2, and 2 hasn't arrived yet.
Something to look forward to in the coming hours.
Here's my view on multi-part tweets, by the way, people. Write part 1, then save it to drafts, then write part 2, and then post them sequentially. 1, then 2.
Nice. Top tips. This hand going nowhere quickly. Apologies also to Alan Berriton. It was a good bunch of questions you sent in, but sadly they came through just as Daniel was leaving it. I'll ask James Hartigan. What's your favourite poker/gambling related movie, James Hartigan?
Favorite poker/gambling related movie? Does The Hustler count?
I would say so. I'm ridiculously a real big fan of 21.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I say ridiculously. I don't know why, and I shouldn't, but I kind of quite enjoy it.
I do enjoy The Cincinnati Kid, despite how ludicrous the last hand is.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of California Split, which was kind of remade recently as a drama. I don't know if you saw Mississippi Grind with Ben Mendelsohn and Ryan Reynolds, which I enjoyed immensely as well, but it very much follows the plot of Robin Altman movie from the 70s with Elliot Gould and George Segal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess also if it's kind of only got to be related, Alan, then the Casino Royale, you know, still enjoy that. Still
That
watch
is a great movie.
Still watch that on a regular basis. Don't hate the poker in it at all.
Just to be clear, Casino Royale 2006, not Casino Royale 1967.
Correct, sir. I knew. I think everyone at home, brackets, because most of them weren't born to know that there's ever been more than one.
Now, Joe, obviously not with us at the moment, says he loves Maverick, but also The Sting is like a favorite movie of Joe's. To me, The Sting is not, I guess there's gambling in it, and I guess it's gambling themed, but to me it's a con artist movie. It's in that genre rather than, because all the gambling involves cheating.
Do you know, I've never seen it.
No?
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
Look at Joe's face. Oh my God.
You are in no position to lecture anyone about not seeing classic movies.
Oof. No, I know. I feel dreadful for it, and I am as time goes by. The problem is there's so many things I want to watch in my life these days, but it's definitely on my list. I've got a list on my phone of books I need to read, games I need to play, films I need to see, and this thing is most definitely on there.
Ah, I've finally got the second part of James Everson's tweet, 2 of 2. At this stage and not be giving away anything. Thank you, James.
Oh, The Colour of Money. That's another good one.
Yeah, but to me, because the original, The Hustler, is such a great movie, the sequel several years later,
Yeah, but
it's look, it's a Scorsese
charming.
movie.
It's charming.
A Scorsese movie, and it's still pretty decent.
That's another one I've watched a number of times. Good shout there, Alan. Jack 10 under the gun looks pretty to me. I wasted a lot of chips in the bounty bonus on that very hand. Jack 10 spades. Nine, 10 off, big blind. Kind of looks playable. Very easy to get away from, that much I will say. I know that's not much of an advert for 9, 10 off, but it's really easy to fold post-flop. Right now, watch him fold this. It comes 250,000, and then the fold is going to be incredibly easy.
I've somehow moved my way up into 3rd place.
Stop it, James.
In the bounty bonus.
Give the kids some money.
Sorry, I tried.
No, you don't. You love it. Beer Belly's coming with a film called Croupier. I don't think I've seen that.
Excellent Clive Owen movie.
Ah.
Really good. Late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Dark and nasty, but gripping. It's a movie which was really Clive Owen's breakthrough film. Obviously, he was a TV actor from the early 1990s, and this was the film that really made him as a movie star.
Adding it to the list. I've got a feeling it's been mentioned before.
Sorrentino wins another pot. Let's just verify what everyone has right now. Sorrentino, 8.8 million, quite a considerable lead over the rest of this final table. A 73 big blind stack. Andre Bondart second in chips with around 40 bigs. Michael Kolkovic hovering around the 30 big blind mark, 27 bigs to be precise. Andreas Klatt, 2.7 million, 22 big blinds. And Maxim Paniak playing 16 big blinds, and the blinds go up in 28 minutes time.
I gotta say, I'm not minding this. It's not the action best poker masterclass that we've been blessed with in the last few final tables, but I'm kind of just merging now with their pace. And I guess I'm also slightly comforted by the fact that this can't go on. Once the blinds go up, there's no way we've got 3 guys with sub 20 big blind stacks that can keep up this level of passivity. It's not a real word. King Queen suited looks so good. Looks so good under the gun. 9-3, not the same.
Johan asks, any more online qualifiers in the tournament? Yes. Maxim Paniak, one of the 2 Russians in the final 5. He qualified online. The other Russian, Andrei Bondar, won his seat in a live satellite here in Monte Carlo.
And Reyes, king 4 on the button. I'm guessing no. I guess correct. Sorrentino, 8-5. I think this might just be a walk. Trying to limp in. They're kind of blocking each other with their dreadful, horrible, speculative, non-suited, non-connected cards. To be honest, even if they had their pick of the 4, I still don't think I want to play.
70.
So blind on blind, unraised pre, 10-9-6. Sorrentino has bet 130,000 with his gut shot. Kolkovic, who has the best hand, calls.
A Dragon saying it's sad how tight they are. One aggro player could smash this table. It was possible that Daniel Negreanu licked his lips at least twice while watching this from the commentary booth.
7 bet 200.
Now a check, and Kolkovic takes over the betting lead with his best hand, the second pair. Sorrentino, do you want to go fishing for 200,000? No. Best hand wins.
Choice one.
Kolkovic.
I prefer the other for sure.
Did he just show the 7? Why is he starting to showing his cards, I wonder?
It was so good.
No, but I think if you don't pay, you are behind, for sure. For sure. You see after.
Behind the flash draw?
No, you are behind, sure.
Behind the flash draw.
You see after.
James, table chat, look.
Well, Kolkovic has worked his way back up to around 30 big blinds. He's third in chips now. Klat's playing 20 bigs. Paniak's got 15 bigs.
1 hour, you see in the streaming.
Yeah, but I have no time for streaming.
Get a room.
6 by 6.
Oh, yeah.
You're actually on a 35-minute delay today. Those of you who are interested in that kind of thing. A reminder, though, that we only delay the video element of the stream. The words we are speaking right now are being heard split second later by you at home. Back to the way things normally are, not the unfortunate way we had to make it work in Panama.
Yeah. So I'm saying the word now. Now. See, that was instant. You heard that, didn't you, as soon as I said it, just to prove the point.
Sorrentino raising the button here with Jack-9. 260k to play. Kolkovic folds the small blind. Paniak the short stack in the big blind. Defends with Queen-10.
Fair enough. Again, sadly, we can see they're kind of blocking each other, but direct connections always... Oh, hello.
Yes, this is an interesting board, isn't it? Pagnac with second pair, Sorrentino with bottom pair, both players with straight draws as well. Check, check for diamonds on the turn.
6 check.
Now this is so getting checked all the way down, I was about to say.
Check, check.
Yeah, check, check, check.
So much potential.
Yeah, but not with these players, which brings me to Smitty's tweet saying, how about one of Matt's patented competitions? Well, I have an awesome competition I've been dragging around with me all week, but I'm saving it for the 9th hour of Heads Up. In fairness, we've been blessed this week. We've had some good action. We've had chatty tables. I've not felt the need to bring out one of my big competitions, but I've got a funny feeling in a few hours we might be praying. There always comes a point where just Joe and James just look at me and go, Matt, have you by any chance got a competition? And I like to swoop in there and save the stream with some hideous competition I've been concocting on Facebook for months. So stick around.
Yeah, when you talk about the 9th hour of Heads Up, I wish that were an exaggeration, because I do fear that's where we're heading.
So believe me, Smitty, if you're still with us at 2 in the morning, when we're down to 3 players, that's when I'll crack open the old folder of competitions. Don't you worry.
Now, because we're calling the action at this final table, sadly, we can't be in London this weekend, can't be at the Hippodrome Casino for the latest PokerStars Mega Stack. If you don't know what I'm talking about, these are the low buy-in events that are now running in various countries around the world, including France and Belgium. It's basically aimed at people like you and me, bringing the PokerStars experience to you at a buy-in level that we can all afford. £170 for a deep stack tournament that runs over a weekend. Check out the details at pokerstarslive.com. But yes, if you are in London in the UK, head to the Hippodrome Casino in Leicester Square, because this weekend there is a mega stack taking place.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, great scheduling. Thanks, everyone. Unbelievable.
Queen 10 against 5s. Bondar has paired his 10.
9 bet, 285.
Pagnac investing some of his incredibly valuable chips now, getting a bit low, got to be careful, but just depends exactly how tight Bondar can be. Daniel berating him for being way too tight in this short-handed situation, but got to be aware of how short Pagnac is, and if he continues in this, whether there's just going to basically just now knows that he's going to end up playing for all of Pagnac's chips. He does call though. He's going to take it to the turn. Nearly 1.2 million in the middle. This could slow things down considerably. Pagnac checks. Pretty confident Bondar will take a 60 seconds and then check. Kaching.
So Bondar still good.
Hand over, GG. LOL.
Still no aggression. Check, check, showdown. Ship the chips to Bondar. Pagnac now fewer than 15 bigs. And
17 minutes on the clock. Tick-tock.
exactly. His stack is going to be even shorter in 17 minutes' time. We'll go on break for 20 minutes. When we come back, the blinds will be up to 80,100 and 60,000. I think everyone's going to have around, like, 29 big blinds? Oh, sorry, rather, that will be the average stack.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can just bring everyone back in with 29 big blinds, James. That's incredibly unfair. I mean, I like the idea, personally. I got plans, but...
Let me actually work the math on that.
Do it. Make the math happen.
Okay, if we come back into level 31, the 80-160 blind level, with 6 players, sorry, with 5 players, they will be playing an average stack of 27 big blinds.
And I think they can probably maintain that for a full level of an hour and a half. So there you go. In case you were wondering what you'll be doing for the next hour and 50 minutes, you get a break in quarter of an hour and then That's exactly where we'll be. Ed's trying to G us up by saying, don't worry, there's another mega stack at the end of June. I can't make that one either. I've worked out the next one I can do is if I go to Ireland in November. I mean, I'm game, but I'm not blessed with a schedule that has coincided very well with all of these mega stacks events. But you never know.
Jonathan Gallagher says, sorry to ask you to repeat, but could you please give details of the free roll for those just joining after work? Absolutely, Jonathan. If you have just joined us, welcome to the weekend and welcome to our 5-handed final table here at the PokerStars Championship presented by Monte Carlo Casino. Free roll password on your screen, Rue Paradis, R-U-E-P-A-R-A-D-I-S. I'm sure you know what to do. Head to the tournament lobby on Stars, fire up the client, click on the Tournaments tab, switch all the filter stuff off, and just search TV.
And I don't embarrass James, but I think it's pronounced Rui Paradis. But we'll let it go for now. It's just embarrassing, but you know. Say what you see. Pocket tens, boom, under the gun. Oh, hello, I like this one. Queen Jack suited. For some reason, it looks stronger to me than when it's in hearts, so I'll take that. It's folded. It's folded the Queen Jack suited on the button.
No, come on. I mean, again, the words of Daniel Negreanu, not our amateur analysis. The guy is playing too tight.
I mean, especially considering you know that you don't even have to raise on this table to see a flop. You can just limp in all the time with all kinds of junk. I know Kolkovic has raised it, but you know what I mean. Is I think, so what? Cool. You're on the button. Take a look at the flop. They must really want to ladder up. Or they're just now looking at Pagnac and they're looking at the clock and going, do you know what? We've got to play with 14 blinds here. We've got 14 minutes on the clock. And for guys that play this slowly, 14 minutes is not a lot of hands. And he shows the pocket tens. Lee Jones must be spinning in his grave, brackets, is not dead. Is if Kolkovic shows too many more of his hands unnecessarily, we're going to get a phone call direct from Tennessee.
Oh my God, Matt, did you see that?
He's here! Yes.
When you don't play too much hands.
His raise sizing is so high, says Alan Farm.
Oh, I just got coolered in the bounty bonus, meaning I am now on life support, and I think my bounty's about to get claimed because I'm all in with hardly any chips.
Good.
Got it in with 2 pair aces and deuces, got called by ace-9. River card, a 9. Oof.
Here we go.
Ace-10 against 8s and 4-6. No help on the flop or turn. Nothing on the river. Congratulations to Evgeny 1977, who claims my bounty, finishing in 132nd place.
Nicely done. All in from Pagnac, ace-king.
Here's the table shorty.
Is he going to get any action? Bondar's going to need to have the best hands ever. No, 10 deuce. Dolly not going to be any good for us there. Clat, 9-4 suited. I think that's a fold. That's a bingo.
Oh, I cashed for 45 cents.
Wow. Man. Sweet. We can afford that overhead projector for our private screening of The Sting.
We're going to make this happen, are we?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd love to do a classic movie review on the podcast. We can basically advertise when we're going to watch it.
Yeah.
We can say anyone who has not seen the movie before or anyone who hasn't seen it for a while should watch it as well.
Yep.
So that we can, like a book club.
Yeah.
And then we can all get together on the podcast and talk about it.
Too much.
I love it. We did it with whatever that film on Netflix was.
Win It All.
Win It All.
Where we were the only 3 people in the world who actually liked it.
That was really weird, wasn't it? Everyone hated it. So there you
I'm
are.
just going to put this out there. If anyone out there hates The Sting, I never want to hear from you again.
Right. Keep it yourself, kids.
I don't think it's a movie it's possible to not like.
I think we should have a London screening and invite people. Yeah. I'm sure there's some crusty pub with an upstairs that Joe's done stand-up in, and he knows that it's empty most nights.
Bizarrely, Joe Stapleton has the connections when it comes to London venues.
Yeah.
So,
and he knows the ones that really look good when they're empty. He knows what the acoustic's like when one man's clapping. Ace-4 suited, that's going to look good. Especially when 3 players are folded and it's blind on blind. He just limps in, gets the check. Sorrentino with 10-6 off. Ace-Queen 4, 2 pair, and absolutely no chance of getting paid off ever, ever.
Raise and take it for Klatt. 5 minutes left on the level. Now, during this level, while you and I have been
Thank you.
No, bro.
commentating on the action here at the final table, our colleague Joe Stapleton's been doing
You're
some
next on
data
T-Phone.
analysis. I've seen spreadsheets being fired back and forth. Oh, there's Mustafa Kanat on the rail, good friend of Rafael Sorrentino's. And I'm interested to know what Joe has been analysing, calculating and assessing. So when you come back from break, that's something to look forward to.
Wow.
Rolling.
Normally he just lays on the floor behind us and goes to sleep. That's that must be quite thrilling.
Paniak all in again, this time with ace-jack. Round to Klatt on the button.
Klatt.
9-5. Just Kolkovic in the big blind. Ace-deuce.
Yeah, I mean, I understand this is a fold for sure. There's just no reason to go to town.
How much is about? Just about? One
Be
five?
careful.
You can ask and then you get a count. Okay. Okay.
That's fine. That's enough. Stop now. Well, you mentioned James Kolkovic has been working pretty hard in the last level to get himself back up.
No, he can't call with ace-deuce.
No.
Lets it go. Another shove from Paniak gets through, but he's still hovering around 15 bigs. And his stack's going to get shorter in 3 minutes' time. The next level will be 8160.
Like,
How much was before?
like 2 million.
1.6? 2 million?
Yes, I think like 2 million, no?
1.8.
More.
One.
Yeah, okay.
1.9.
Okay, thank you.
Can you do 20s? Rebel. Can you tell him? Can you do 20s like this, please?
Seems like a reasonable request to me.
Bro, why you
yes,
crash
thanks.
the style?
Huh?
Why you to crash the style? I joke. I joke.
Well, that's a fold, ace-queen. I mean, it's not even suited. Look, his first act, it's a horrible position to be in.
Bonda.
Ding, 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 ding. Bonda. James has officially lost his mind.
And the irony is it's only 6:30 in the evening, not 6:30 in the morning.
We're going to have to send Joe out to both McDonald's and Burger King at some point. You know that there's going to be trouble.
I wonder if you flip reversed it, whether you'd have the same problem. If you had gone to Burger King first
Then
and then
McDonald's.
taken the Burger King bag into McDonald's,
'Cause
would the
they don't.
security guard there have been as officious?
I mean, can you imagine if you're the security guy in McDonald's? It's a struggle just to keep breathing. I don't think you're going to want to enforce any laws.
How much is it?
Standing there breathing with your mouth open.
The irony is, as we have this bizarre hypothetical conversation, there could actually be action here.
I know.
Kolkovic has picked up a pair of fives. I don't think we're going to see any crazy three-betting malarkey, but maybe a call.
I mean, again, I come back to Daniel's point. If you're going to get freaky against anyone, Bondar, not the player to do so against. Pretty rocky thus far.
Paniak has folded, heads up to the flop.
Give us an ace-5 deuce, please,
Five.
dealer. Ace-queen 5, ace-queen 5.
Sorry.
He tried, but
Kolkovic tried to get a discount there. Instead, it's ace-jack 7. Easy fold for the 5s. Check, bet, fold. Next hand, please.
Well, it's going to have to happen in the next 25 seconds, or it's time to take a break and ruin everyone's stack by changing the blind levels.
I mean, everyone is going to be so much shallower.
I mean, there are going to be definitely 2 players hanging on by a thread, and then a third will be joining.
Let's not forget, the second player in chips will have fewer than 40 big blinds. The only player who'll have a healthy stack is Rafael Sorrentino. So confirmation, last hand of the level. Once Kolkovic has folded these 5s, we will go on a 20-minute break.
Poker in your ears and eyes coming. Part 3. Stay tuned.
That is the last hand of the 60-120 blind level. When we are back, the proverbial price of poker goes up. 80,000, 160,000 with a 20,000 ante. I say that Sorrentino will be the only player with a healthy stack. He has fewer than 50 big blinds now. 2 players with sub-20 big blind stacks. Paniak hanging around 10 big blinds. It's very shallow now. Maybe we'll finally see some more eliminations during the next level. A 20-minute break in the action, then the main event final table continues. In the meantime, enjoy the 3rd and final installment of Poker in the Ears and Eyes, Monte Carlo edition.